Hi.
Hello.
Hi, besties. Happy Sunday. I'm here interviewing two members of Heavy Bend for Down on Downer. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Ollie. I play drums in Heavy Bend.
So Goalie Swagwake. I'm Slater Gutierrez. I sing and play guitar in Heavy Bend.
And so you guys used to have another name for your band, and we have recently rebranded. We've recently rebranded to Heavy Bend. So tell me a little bit about the decision to change the name in the first place, how you guys came to the conclusion that you had to, and then why Heavy Bend?
Purely legal.
Purely legal reasons. No, there's a band from we were formerly Bronco. There's a band from Mexico with the name Bronco that has existed since time immemorial, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they're like a really, really, really popular band, and we didn't want to risk like infringing on anything. And also our music was underneath their Apple Music like catalog.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah, we could keep the name and then risk a bunch of stuff down the line, or we could change the name and, have the ability to, make more of a like an artist statement with our name as well.
So you said that you're making an artist statement with the name Heavy Bend. Mm-hmm. Expand on that a little bit for me. Why? What does it mean? And it can mean a couple different things, but like, how do you guys both interpret the name of your own band?
I think we kind of came to the conclusion of Heavy Bend because, well, it's a Big Thief song, and every good band is named after somebody else's song. But if Gage were here, Gage would talk about how it reminded them of like
A river.
a river, not only a river, but like a town name.
Yes.
Like a place where people exist, but it isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that we were kind of going for is like, outdoorsy, kind of sounds like a town, kind of sounds a little bit, not ambient, I guess, like a little bit out there, kind of.
Yeah. The initial process of trying to get a new name was kind of grueling, and a lot of just like sitting in rooms for hours and saying words, and then like bam, and like texting words back. Like if you go back in me and Slater's messages, it's just like dun 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 dun, dun and then like sometimes the message is like, but we narrowed it down to 3 names, and then we were voting on that, and then Heavy Bend came into the equation. The 3 names were like Fern Gully, which also sounds like a place and has like a nature connection. One was Oxbow, which is like the structure of a river that like it kind of curves out like that. And the other one was like Maze.
I don't know.
The other one I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But then those got wiped off the table. I think we said Heavy, and then me and Slater both said Heavy Bend because that's the Big Thief song. For me, like, when we were on those other 2 names, Oxbow was the one I was gunning for. Specifically, when I think of the Heavy Bend songs that I really like, I think a lot in visuals when it comes to music, or like how it makes me feel. And my favorite song off our first album was Home, and often that song like builds very much, and it kind of like crashes forward, and so this like water imagery is something that I think about a lot in relation to the music that I like and that I want to make. And so Heavy Bend, thinking of that kind of in that Oxbow way of like, it feels like something natural, like a river, something that's ever changing. And I think we'll talk about this a little bit more, but in the songs that you've been writing, there is this like, I think trying to deal with change or find peace with it, or and also in the stuff that I do that's not music related, that there's like a focus on like ephemera or things changing, but also like finding peace or consistency through that, or like recognizing that but still not being scared by it. Anyways, that was a lot of words at once, but that's what I think of it.
If you guys lived in the town of Heavy Bend, what store would you be the owner of? What storefront? I'm imagining, for the record, like kind of like an old western,
Yeah.
western like cowboy saloon.
Yeah, but it's like in the Pacific Northwest somewhere, or somewhere where it's like wet and tree-like.
Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely not imagining a town. Like I'm imagining like I don't know what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
It's also your band name, but you should tell me what store would you own?
I don't know. Do you know?
I feel like I would be an old master of setting type, and I would have a little printing store with like lead type and wood type, and people could, like, I'd be like the guy who used to print the newspapers, but now, like, I don't know, I just kind of do whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's such a good answer.
Thank you.
I feel like I would be like a city records person.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lame, but I don't know. I think it's important to know where you came from and who you're with.
No, exactly. I'd like to own the diner in Heavy Bend.
Oh, that's a classic. The Heavy Bend Diner.
Yeah.
The Heavy Diner.
The Heavy Diner. Exactly.
With the specialty dish, the heavy burger.
The Heavy Burger.
It's 25,000 pounds, and it's like one of those man versus food.
But it stayed $7 for 45 years.
Absolutely.
I love nothing more than like town kitschy. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need a bit to get everybody to come. So.
Yeah.
Heavy Bend's economy has not been affected by inflation or anything, so
tariffs.
Yeah.
not tariffs.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Okay, so let's talk about this new music. So I've listened to Mean 2.
Yes.
Which is a follow-up to a song off your first album, Mean. Tell me, from what you've been playing me and what I listened to, it sounds like Mean 2 is a very good representation of like kind of what's been the like direction you're going sound-wise, and So I kind of want to hear about what is this creative process looking like for you? Is this different? Also, a lot of these lyrics are like very, very, like, it's a vulnerable song. It's very like raw and real and like super honest. And so I want to hear about what it's like to make this music, but also to be like vulnerable in this way with your art. And is it changing at all or evolving?
I think so. We'll talk about the writing process, and then we'll talk about the feeling, writing the lyrics and stuff. All of the songs for Heavy Bend, I used to say some of them, or a lot of them, but it's pretty much all of them at this point, are written by me sitting on an acoustic guitar in my bedroom and not really being able to sleep or do anything else for the moment. So I sit down and I play guitar, and Mean 2 came out of a weird spot that I was in like last year where, I felt like I was hurting somebody close to me, and at the end of the song I say like I didn't mean to, and a lot of that was just me trying to come to terms with like how can you acknowledge that you've hurt somebody but try to make up for it and try to move on from it. I think that's something hard, but something that we have to do as people, and we have to be like good relatives to each other and stuff. I think lyrically and songwriting wise for the new album, a lot of it, vulnerability wise, is inspired by Patty from the Low Blow.
Oh.
Yeah, I love the Low Blow. I cry to the Low Blow every time I see them. They're a really good band. They're from Nashville, Tennessee.
They have new stuff. I think a new single just came out, and they have a new album coming out.
Shout out Low Blow. But I was talking to Patty about like the rise of irony in younger cultures, and younger American culture, and how irony is being used as a way to prevent each other from being sincere. And I think a lot of what Heavy Bend is trying to do now is like focus more on the sincerity that we want to show, and focus more on being honest and making music that we feel is not only representative of ourselves, but just real shit. I know for me, like, Ollie and I have talked about this a lot, where I struggle to listen to art and music that isn't coming from a place. Like, and I don't want to be making music that comes from nowhere. I want everything that we do artistically to have a place it's coming from.
Specificity.
Yeah. If you have more thoughts on that.
Yeah, I have agreed. As primary songwriter, like, it's really interesting to having these songs kind of start in this more intimate environment for you in your bedroom, and then from that bringing it towards the band context, and then all of us kind of adding our own musical flourishes to it, and from that building more of a musical environment from the lyrics, and like what sections do you want to like have the most oomph impact. How do you do that? By being quieter in some areas or being louder in some, and so like bringing it to that bigger full band context is where I feel like you're able to bring some more of those ideas and bring more of that emotional impact to what you're writing, and then from that taking it to a live context and being able to share that with people. I think that we want to encourage that sincerity with people, and be like, we're all here together in this moment. Another thing that we've talked or the whole band has talked about a lot is like, you specifically hate when people stand still. You hate standers.
I hate stand stillers. Okay, you can stand still at a show, but look engaged. You know, be in the moment and be participating in what that moment is. If that moment is dancing, you should dance. If that moment is watching, you should watch. But if that moment is dancing and you're watching, or that moment is watching and you're dancing, you're like detracting from the experience that the artist is trying to set forth. I think we need to stop clapping at shows. I think if we stop clapping at shows, then we're focusing more on the art that's being made.
Yeah.
I don't mean that sincerely, but
I agree with you in part. I'm also thinking about more in terms of performance from an artist. Like it's hard to play and move, but I think that it is interesting. But instead of just like standing there, kind of like doing your thing. When you're able to move around and like make little connections with the people that you're, touch base with. As someone who's done a little bit of improv back in my day, it's dumb. But like when you're in a live setting like that, it is really important it's a collaborative process to like be able to touch base with who you're playing with. And it's funny talking to the band after we've played shows, because like, specifically in the song, we haven't played Birds in a while, and we will not play it because we don't like it.
We don't like birds?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
What do you mean we'll get there? I wasn't even going to ask about this, but now I'm invested.
It's a fun song, and we all like to dance and have fun, but like, when we're playing, I'm usually looking towards Slater because I'm trying to hear what they're saying. Because I'm like, I know where I'm at, but also I'm a little scared though. What if I'm wrong? But like, I'll still be looking around, but sometimes I'll be looking at the wrong person and someone else will be trying to look at me, or I'll be trying to look at someone else and they won't be looking. So it's misconnections. But anyways, back to the main point. Being able to like touch base with people, like whether it's performing in that collaborative process or engaging with the audience. It doesn't have to be like, you get up here, sing the words, you over here, do this. But like acknowledging that you're in this moment together and experiencing this stuff. And like, I'm not gonna like force someone to dance if they don't, but like, still being engaged or listening, or
they're acknowledging presence with you.
Yes, there's different
shared acknowledgement.
Yeah, there's different ways to engage with art. Like I mentioned kind of previously, my focus in life kind of started more in visual art, and in that people think a lot of like engagement or interaction with art has to be tactile, like I'm doing this, I'm touching this, I'm whatever. I think that isn't always the case. You don't always have to be moving around, but kind of how the art is presented to you can make you look or listen or think in different ways. Like if you have a really big piece, if you have a huge piece of paper but then a really small drawing in the middle, you have to get really close to it, and it's kind of an intimate moment, and you're interacting with it in a different way, you're looking in a different way. And I think with the music, bringing it to those like, oh, what venue are we at, or like, oh, is it louder or quieter, do you have to kind of be quiet or listen more attentively to what the words are? Does that bring more focus to what that is, or are you listening more to like the loud music that is happening and more representing like an emotional kind of timbre?
I think art is a conversation, and I think we're just trying to have a better conversation with the people that we're performing for.
In almost every song that you play, especially when we're in a setting like this where we're just like hanging out, you always have like a repeated line. Like there's a lot of repeated lines like over and over and over again, and it gets more and more intense. And I've noticed that in a bunch of your songs, and it's in Mean Too. It's at the end. It's I didn't mean to over and over and over again. Why?
I think because that's the feeling that I'm feeling. When I feel things very intensely. I feel things very like physically and all over myself. And I like that's not unique necessarily, but the way that I, try to get that out musically is like, I want whoever is listening to understand that this is more than just me saying it. This is, the reason I'm repeating it is because I am feeling that a lot. And I think that's my way to try to attach my physical feeling to an auditory form. I also think, you can say the same thing so many different ways. Like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I think through that there's through repetition there's it legitimizes the feeling, and it extrapolates all the things that could be fostering that feeling. Like, I could be feeling bad, and then I'm good about it, and then I'm upset about it, or I'm frustrated, or I'm all these other things. But I don't know. That's kind of how I feel or view repetition. A way to expand on an idea.
So you have a Downpour show coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna be hearing some of these songs, some concepts of what the next album might be. What is that feeling like, putting art, especially like putting your art out when it's not, a fully formed album or anything, but like trying to piece it together? Like, do you feel like we're all in this together, like watching you realize what the album's gonna be? Does it like help you in any way when it comes to creating the creative process to like have external, like eyes on it, ears on it, what is that like?
I think it'll definitely inform how we record and inform how we like arrange the songs for sure. Because like we think about that ourselves a lot. Like, how are we going to arrange this piece of music? And I think being able to perform a bunch of stuff that hasn't been played before will give us an idea about not only what the audience is receiving, but how we feel about that reception and how we want to engage with that reception.
When people are making art, whether it's writing, music, whatever, you make it from a certain place, and you think about how you want people to engage with it, or like, how will someone react to this if I'm making this thing and I know I'm going to present it to people. But I think that with that, speaking about like having a conversation through the art, you have an idea of what you want the thing to do, but then until you put it in front of people and you kind of get that, and you're able to talk about it and have people listen to it, and like, maybe it's like, oh, this story is about hurting someone and I didn't mean to. By having that exchange and like kind of opening that thing up to having that conversation, like, you can understand maybe the reception of it a bit more, and it can inform more songs that you write, or maybe how you want to present that because with recording, it's like, this is archiving how I want this thing to sound forever. And like, we like this thing about, our live show, and like with live music, it is beautiful because it's always changing. But like, when you're narrowing it down to like, this is kind of set in stone, when people experience this is mainly what I want them to experience. If you want to like amplify different things in that experience, by doing it live multiple times in front of different people, you kind of each time get something new out of it, or like, oh, I like that, oh, I didn't like that, and then having a better idea of what you want this final product to be, I guess. Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah.
I know it was kind of an unintentional new era, but it's a new era of Heavy Bend. It's, it's fall.
Yeah.
Seasons are changing, and here we go. So, is there anything else you want people to know about this time for you, or this transition for you into this new era of your music?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be, I don't want to say more honest, because everybody says, oh, this next piece is like really more honest.
This is the real me, off the meds.
Yeah. No, I think what this is rather is, it's really just a love letter to the genre. No.
No!
I don't know. I think I'm just making, we're making art that we want to listen to, and we hope that folks want to listen to it too.
That's kind of all I got for you. I think we covered a lot. Is there anything else you feel like we didn't talk about?
My pants!
Oh my god, Ollie. Actually, 2 more questions. Ollie, tell me about your pants and why don't you guys like birds?
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot about the birds. Let's start with the birds.
Okay.
Hi, Ben.
I'm here now.
Ben's in the conversation.
Ben's here for the
Welcome,
bonus
Ben.
question.
I don't even know if I'm in this shot. I'm not in that shot. Those 2 cameras are just of you 2. Oh, sweet.
Hi, Ben.
Ben, interview question.
Okay.
Okay. Ask your.
No.
Then
Terrible host.
Ollie pants, Slater
Yeah.
birds.
Okay.
Oh, I can give a tour of my pants from here.
Let's do birds first.
I
You
wanna
said.
do birds first.
That seems like a good question to end on for the pants. Go ahead.
Okay, so birds. The reason that we don't really like birds is just because like everybody likes birds. The song.
Birds
We
like
like the birds, the animal. I just feel like
We like the birds, the animal. Heard of them?
yeah. I
If you guys
Yeah,
ever heard about
uninitiated.
birds?
we talked about
They're
how
alright.
we like we can acknowledge that it's like a song that people like and enjoy, but also there are other songs on the album. Like nobody's ever requesting to hear Angel or Drones. I think it's just like for me at least, it's like come on guys, there's other songs on the album, and I would rather you listen to those ones.
Okay.
Birds.
Ollie, do you have an opinion?
I just want to do other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm bored. No, it's a fine song. It's fun, but for me it's probably one of the most taxing songs to play. And it's fine. I just feel like we would like play it and then we would not play it that much and then we'd be like, let's play it again. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Cause yeah, it's fine.
Pants?
Yeah, my pants. Okay. So
Do you want to stand and I hold the camera?
no.
Okay.
We'll do it like this. Here's a pants tour real quick. Well, you can... Oh, here, I will give you the...
You're breaking shit, dude.
I will give you the camera. Okay. So these are my pants. I stole them from work because someone screen printed on them, and I didn't like how they screen printed them, and they were there for months. And if they're seeing this, I'm sorry I took your pants, but you shouldn't have left them at my work. So I put a bunch of patches on that. I made a lot of these. So this one was made by my friend Maddie. This is Alan Guskowski. He was my improv teacher. He also taught Ben. He's awesome. He's at Comedy Sports. This is my work. I made a patch of my work. Don't look it up. This is I'm part of Print Club at UWM, and shout out Print Club. I've been an officer for like 3 years. These are all from these are direct burns of plants that we went and got. This is a dog I carved. This is also from my friend Maddie. This is from when we went to Puerto Rico. This is a clown I made. This is a shirt from Cannabis Kiss, now Agora Bomb. They are from Minneapolis. I like them. This is a hanky I cut up. This is AP3, shout out AP3, Milwaukee's community print shop. They're moving to Menominee River Valley soon. This is also from them. This was a fundraiser. I think there's also Pride. This is Jort. Season of the Jort. This was a design screen printed at Zine Fest for free for folks. That was really fun. Also for Print Club. And then this is also Maddie. This is Lowboy. Shout out Lowboy. Madison also. And then the chair, I think my friend Tice made it. Shout out the chair. Shout out UWM Julian Metals. We beefed about this chair and now we made a print of it.
What is the big long one on your flat leg?
This is from my, this and this one is from the same print I made. It was a 2 foot by 2 foot woodcut on muslin that I cut up. It was about seasons and changing and equating this Bible verse about like leaves wither and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord stands forever. Along with theological thing, the kingdom of God is already but not yet. I was feeling really sad in the springtime and looking at the magnolias, and I was like, oh, I feel awful and I'm not religious anymore, but like there is something like you can still find comfort in these things, but reinterpret them in ways, and even though leaves fall and whatever and seasons change like fall, like right now you can still find comfort in the fact that they change and that there's beauty that is temporary within that.
Beautiful. Does your belt say dick?
Oh, it does say dick, yeah.
Nice.
Got a lot going on over here.
Everybody.
Yeah, this is an award I won middle school for playing clarinet. These are a bunch of keys. This is from my old apartment. I forgot to give it back. This is from, I think, a box of index cards. This is from a necklace I got, and this safety pin is from my grandma.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
that's everything. Yeah.
incredible pants, Ollie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, guys,
I got a camera too.
You guys gonna fight?
Why does the camera look like that?
this is a 360 camera.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Downpour. Remember to smash that hit like.
Hey,
When
what's up,
is-
guys?
when is
Remember
the-
to subscribe.
Remember to smash that hit button.
When's
and
what?
When's your downpour
send an-
session?
oh.
We should end on that.
Our
Oh.
downpour is on November
November
15th at Down
Right here.
on
On Downer.
Downer.
DM for address.
The address
DM for
is
Abby.